Here is Billboard's requirement that they put, I guess. So it says, I want to highlight a couple points, by the way, with this, how they kind of judged whether or not an album should or shouldn't be on the list. So it says the criteria we only included full-length projects, so no mixtapes and or no EPs. You're about to find out why I think that's kind of funny. Then it says we took into account the world into which the album was released. So, did it break new ground or was it just a different version of a more popular album? And then it says they weighed the impact of the album during its time. Did it change the game? Do people still play it? And then, of course, they also talked about how well the album performed commercially. This is all that they weighed for whether or not a hip hop album should be on the list. You're about to find out real soon why I have a problem with that. Slick Rick, interesting. I don't even, I mean, hey, listen, I can't name a single song off this album except for the storytelling track, and I don't even know the name. I forgot what it was. But for its time, it probably should have been there. And we have Blueprint. Okay. Me Rakim, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Biggie, Outkast, and number three, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This is a stinky take. Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know. This is horrible. I'm back again, and today in this video, I'm here to talk about why Lauryn Hill is not a top 50 rapper of all time, and why she does not deserve to be mentioned in any list of that nature whatsoever, whether it be, all-time rap catalogs, whether it be rappers lists, any lists like that, she just does not deserve to be listed in the top 50. And today we're just going to go over those points, go over kind of my arguments, why I think that. But firstly, I want to briefly mention that if you clicked on this video, you probably already know who Lauryn Hill is, so I don't really have to explain her to you. But I did want to, at the very least, kind of explain some qualifiers first before I actually get into my arguments, because I think it's important to establish what it means to be the GOAT of rap, what it means to have, a GOAT catalog, and so on. And so, first, some of the requirements that people like to talk about when discussing who's the GOAT is comes down to a couple things. It would typically come down to things like lyricism, catalog, impact, and longevity. And those are the biggest ones. Of course, you can also throw in some, something else, maybe like commercial success. But those are like the things that you need to have to be put in the argument of being the GOAT, or our argument for having like a GOAT catalog as well. And so the reason why I would, put it in that order is because, for instance, if you look at somebody like Eminem, who has the, infamous 3 album run that everybody likes to talk about, we also have to remember that the rest of Eminem's catalog is just all right or decent, at best. But he has those 3 albums, and so he still is put in the GOAT conversation. And so that would suggest then that, longevity and impact play a massive role in whether or not you become the GOAT or you have an argument to be the GOAT. And then the reason why lyricism is so, important is because, well, I mean, obviously it's lyricism, right? I mean, this is rap. But it's kind of a loaded term. It's kind of hard to, pinpoint exactly what lyricism means. So, there are individuals that can, lyrically rap bars over your head. There are, people who are like poets when they rap. And then there are, extremely vivid storytellers. So ultimately, lyricism is just something that you have to have if you want to be considered one of the rap goats. But now on to Lauryn Hill, and we will talk about why she's not in the top 50. Well, first of all, we will start with her catalog. It's not very time consuming at all, not very hard. She has one album. And The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a classic in the eyes of many, I will give it that. But under no circumstances should this album ever be listed next to some of the all-time great rap albums that we've ever seen, which for some reason it consistently gets listed there, as you just saw in the intro.
I was really considering this album. The only thing is that I had trouble putting it within my top 10 because technically it's considered a neo soul and R&B album, so I didn't
No,
know.
it's still a hip hop album,
It is
bro.
though. It is. Yeah, and
This isn't even a rap album. Uh, it's just not. People love to try to pretend like it is just because it has rap in it. And it's really annoying, but the thing is you're not gonna convince me that an album that has 15 tracks, 16 but technically 15, where 9 of the tracks are pure singing performances is a rap album. It's just not happening. Right? That's not a rap album. That's a singing album, an R&B album, a neo soul album that has rap in it. That's not a rap album. And I'm being rather generous with my evaluation on top of that because honestly, I would even go as far as to say 12. 12 of the 15 are not rap songs. So the song Everything is Everything, Superstar, and Forgive Them Father are dominated by singing with hardly any rapping in them. So for example, Everything is Everything is basically a 5 minute long song where she raps for 32 seconds. She's literally rapping for 32 seconds in a 5 minute long song. Superstar is a 5 minute long song where she raps for 46 seconds, a little bit more there. And then Forgive Them Father is a song that's well over 4 minutes, and yet she only raps for 48 seconds. 11% of Everything is Everything, 15% of Superstar, and 18% of Forgive Them Father is actually rap, which is ridiculous that you would even consider those rap songs. But by comparison, Katy Perry's California Girls has a 38-second rap verse in it, in a 4 minute long song, which comes out to be about 16% of that record is rapping. Bad Blood by Taylor Swift featuring Kendrick is 45 seconds worth of rapping in it within a 3 minute and 20-second long song, which is about 22% rapping. And What's My Name by Rihanna featuring Drake has a 35-second rap verse in it in a 4 minute and 23-second long song, which is about 13% rapping. So unless you think What's My Name, California Girls, and Bad Blood by Taylor fucking Swift are all rap songs, we can safely assume that Everything is Everything, Superstar, and Forgive Them Father are not rap songs either. They have some rapping in them. Same way that you could say your favorite or average rap song with a singing chorus in it have some singing in it, it's the same thing inversely. Those are not singing songs just because they have a singing chorus. If you count up how much singing is within those choruses, you'll find that they probably equal about 30-ish seconds, typically. We're really arguing that Final Hour, Lost Ones, and Doo Wop and 3 additional rap verses single-handedly are good enough rap performances to put her entire album in the top 10 rap album list of all time. And I cannot be the only one thinking that that is the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Meanwhile, you've got Mural by Lupe Fiasco, which is a better lyrical rap performance than every Lauryn Hill verse she's ever written combined. And I don't see Tetsuo and Youth in the top 10. When you go into lyricism, it's not too much better for her either. You can name damn near any decent rapper and they'd out-rap her. Ab Soul would mop the floor with Lauryn Hill if it were a conversation about rapping. Outside of a lyrical aspect, though, most of her quote unquote lyricism consists of just life advice. You can look at Nobody by Nas featuring Lauryn Hill, where her entire verse, for one, consists of no bars. She has no bars in that verse. And two, consists of just her literally giving life advice, making room for people who didn't like the labor but wanted the spoils, greedy, selfish behavior. These are bars. I turned the other cheek. I took blow after blow. There's so much crisis in the world because you reap what you sow. When you keep what you know is meant for someone else, the ditch you dig for them, you might just end up in yourself. Like this is top 5 all time. This is like top 15 at least. And for all you people talking about, well, but nobody isn't really her best verse. Nobody's not really one of her best verses. It's the same thing for her songs on The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Her equation. I was on the humble. You on every station. Someone play young Lauren like she dumb. But remember, not a game, new under the sun. Everything you did was already been done. I know all the tricks from bricks to Kingston. My ting done made your kingdom one run. Now understand, L Boogie non-violent, but if it a thing, test me, run for me gun. Can't take a threat to me newborn son. I can't read this shit. This is
the Miseducation of Miss Lauryn Hill. I can't say anything bad about this album. I think it's like a perfect piece of art. It's a masterpiece. It's genuinely one of the best albums ever made.
Hypocrites always want to play innocent. Always want to take it to the full out extent. Alright, my opinion. There come many paths, and you must choose one. And if you don't change, then the rain soon come. See, you might win some, but you just lost one. Now, don't you understand, man? Universal law.
No, it's not absurd to have Lauryn Hill in my top 15 rappers of all time. How is that absurd to have Lauryn Hill in my top 10?
And honestly, if you want to compare her to somebody like Nas on his unreleased track Deja Vu, you find out real quick that there's levels to this shit. From a lyrical standpoint, she gets stomped out by the likes of Denzel Curry. From a poetic standpoint, she gets easily outclassed by virtually every prominent rapper we know of. Think of Yasin Bey, Common, Tupac, and Kendrick, just to name a few. And from a cadence and slickness standpoint, even flow, she gets completely evaporated by rappers like Biggie, Eminem, and doesn't even hold a candle to Jid. To be fair, Jid has the greatest flow and cadence of all time, but you get my point. Virtually any lyrical aspect you look from, she gets completely outclassed. Even from a storytelling aspect, hell, Immortal Technique completely dog walks her because he has one of the greatest storytelling tracks of all time with Dance with the Devil. And don't say she doesn't have tracks where she tells a story, because she does. Use the verse from The Mask by the Fugees as a solid reference where she's rapping a story, but she also has other stories where she sings in Miseducation. And what makes matters much worse for her is the fact that she simply has way too much competition to go up against. She has one classic, great. Eminem has 3, Lupe has at least 2, Kendrick has 3, Drake has at least 2, Tupac has at least 2, Biggie has 2, Kanye has like 5. Hell, even Travis Scott has more classics than her with Astroworld and Rodeo. And these albums by artists are full of lyricism, flows, cadences, storytelling, poetry, and most importantly, rap. This is not including the other albums that they have on top of their classics, and you can't say the same for Lauryn Hill. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is not a rap album and doesn't have enough rap in it to go toe-to-toe with virtually any rap album. Editing here. Do you guys remember when I said that I thought it was kind of funny how Billboard wasn't including EPs on their albums list? Well, the reason why I said that was because on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, the amount of songs that are on that album that are rap focused is the equivalent of an EP. So around 4 to 6 tracks would be something like an EP. And on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, I'm counting 3 tracks. If you want to be generous and you really want to give her those other tracks, then that's like 6. She is not good enough of a lyricist to even be considered in the top 50, and her catalog isn't expansive enough. And while she has longevity and impact on her side, I just don't think that's good enough, especially when you consider the fact that she's not the only rapper with longevity and impact. The only difference is these other rappers have that and then some. Ultimately, I think you guys kind of understand my whole point and premise. She just doesn't have the catalog to match these other rappers. She doesn't have the rap skill. She just doesn't have, anything really going for her. Even her album, even her only classic album that she has, yes, it's a classic, but it's not even a rap album. I wouldn't even call that a rap album. And even if you did call it a rap album, there's not enough rap in it to even put it up against any album. So ultimately, I don't think Lauryn Hill should even be top 50. And this kind of goes into my whole stance with the GOAT list in general. I have some hot takes about, some of the GOATs, and I would like to make more videos regarding these GOATs because I'd like to see a little bit more, difference in opinion. Some of these videos I'm seeing of individuals putting her so high and other rappers really high, I actually want to address these takes. But for now, we're in Lauryn Hill. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and more videos coming out soon that are very similar to this.